Hey friends, what's happening? This is Dr. Heather from Ask Dr. Heather. Getting a lot of questions of you guys asking, like, show us what you're having at your house for dinner. So I decided to say, yep, I'm gonna go live. I did not do my hair for you all. I've been outside, went and worked out, and then with a friend and did some errands. I have 3 kiddos at the pool. I have 2 at work right now. So we are eating on the go. My husband's at work, then he's gonna go work out. So I thought I'd show you what we have, which is kind of like meals on the go. So I'm simply gonna turn it around here and show you how easy it is. I have questions, people are like, well, how can you be keto? I have to have carbs. I have to have a brown rice tortilla, or I have to have a sweet potato, or I have to have a banana. So just remember, there's no essential carbohydrates. However, every vegetable has a carbohydrate. Every nut, every seed has a carbohydrate. You can very easily eat lots of different vegetables and very easily get 50 plus 60 carbohydrates. I mean, onions have carbohydrates, red bell peppers have carbohydrates, fruits like lemons, limes, avocados, olives, they all have carbohydrates. Pickles have carbohydrates. So just because you say you're on a low carb or keto diet doesn't mean you're not getting carbohydrates. Coconut has a lot of carbohydrates, so I love toasted coconut, but I know I have to limit it because it'll add up super quick. So if you start counting like coconut milk or things like that, it has carbohydrates. So I'm gonna switch the camera around here so you guys can see what I have. Let me know where you guys are coming from. Again, this is Dr. Heather from Ask Dr. Heather. Let me know who you are, where you're coming from, what's cooking at your house. I'm coming off a holiday, so let me turn this around. So I don't know what's up with, I am super into this chopped cabbage salad. So this is just chopped Napa cabbage. It does have a little bit of cilantro in there. I did put some bacon bits in there. You can see the cilantro. Again, I just added some cabbage. I just shredded the cabbage and put it in there. My son Isaac wanted to have a Caesar salad. So you can see there's some nice shredded Parmesan in there. I don't do dairy, so this is for me. I'm gonna put some balsamic vinegar on there. So there is a Caesar salad. We are gonna slice some eggs in there. I do have 1 kiddo with sliced eggs. So these are boiled eggs I just made. They're still nice and warm. And then I did a crusted Parmesan chicken. So I'm gonna slice that so the kids can just put it on the salad. I do have green beans with bacon on there. And then I have sea salt to add. Oh, I've got 15 probably sea salts in there. This is a finely ground sea salt. They do have a couple friends over. So, you know, if you want to go non-dairy, I could have left actually the Parmesan off, but again, there's eggs on there to slice on there to get the extra protein. You can add more bacon bits. And I do make my own bacon bits a lot of times. Dr. Ralph did a whole bunch this weekend. But in a pinch, and we have a large family, lots of friends coming and going, kids working crazy shifts this summer, I do buy these real crumbled bacon bits that have no artificial. It says 100% real. And I do read the back just to double check them. So we've got 3 veggies there. So 1, 2, 3. We have 2 different protein sources. And then because we have friends over, I know a couple of them are doing some RP templates. I do have just a couple sweet potatoes. And then I have a couple more chicken breasts. One of those are mine because it has no dairy on it, no crusted Parmesan. It just has some herbs and some garlic on there. So I'm gonna turn it back around. Let me know what you guys are having. Those are the questions I get. Show us what you're having. Show us what you're making. So this was super simple. I made it in like 20 or less minutes. If this is helpful, let me know. But also know that if you go to albums or pictures or photos, I think it's photos and albums, I have about, I don't know, 100 different pictures of super simple foods. So if you saw my live on, I think it's the 4th of July or the 3rd of July, Dr. Ralph did chicken wings. He did a pork roast. He did a ground pork roll that he put like mushrooms and spinach and peppers in. He also did one that had some ham and some peppers and pineapple in. We also did 3 slabs of ribs. We have none of that left. But you can also just do hamburgers and a side of coleslaw and some pickles. You're still getting carbs. And if you're brand new to Ask Dr. Heather, you can jump over to AskDrHeather.net and you just simply put subscribe and you can download your guide to start your day in the right way. It is just a friendly low carb keto list. The difference is what makes it keto, what makes it low carb is your own carb tolerance. Again, top question, what makes it keto, what makes it low carb? It's your carb tolerance. It's how many calories your body uses, what your own glycemic or carbohydrate tolerance is. So if I were to use my carbohydrate tolerance on one of my kiddos, it would be totally keto for them because they're 17, 22, 21, 24. Their carb tolerance is way different than mine. They can have a half a sweet potato and still be in ketosis naturally. I can't have a sweet potato. I can't even do a red bell pepper if I cook it because it caramelizes. That plus onions puts me right out of natural ketosis. So that's when I can use the exogenous ketones. If I want to have some extra vitamin C from the red bell peppers, I want to have a little more fajita mix from those, actually will help my body stay in ketosis. So that's kind of makes that difference. So the list will look the same for me on an autoimmune, low carb, ketogenic, as low carb / ketogenic. It's your carb tolerance, because again, it's what your energy expenditures, how much are you using today? How much did you use yesterday? Is your body storing it? It's really so individualized. That's why you have to test, and that's what makes the diet kind of tricky. That's why it's been so hard for people to actually stay in ketosis. And then if you have some type of metabolic disease going on, we call it comorbidity. So if you happen to have an autoimmune disease going on, or maybe you're missing part of your colon, you're in a car wreck when you're a little kiddo, or maybe you've got something else going on that you've had to take some type of prescription medications for, or maybe you've got hormones going on, or you have excess body weight or excess body fat, then that can be kind of a game changer for you, which means that you maybe have to switch up what your carbohydrate intolerance is. So people ask all the time, well, gosh, I started this low carb keto journey. I didn't have to check my ketones, lost 30, 40 pounds right off the bat, and now I'm stuck. It's because your body's not the same anymore. What your body used to have to do, your basal metabolic rate for what it did the 30 or 40 pounds ago, is totally different than what it is now. That's why metabolic flexibility is so important. So that's why you need to rotate your vegetables, rotate your proteins, eat when hungry, stop when full. You can't do the same thing. I know I'm an 80s lady. We were told, do the same thing. Chicken and broccoli, egg whites, right? Egg whites and a tomato for breakfast, and then chicken and broccoli for lunch, and then dinner was always going to be like a hamburger and a pickle or something like that, or hamburger and green beans. You have to create metabolic flexibility, which means eating at different times and then rotating your meats and proteins, and also rotating your vegetables through there. So if you go to AskDrHeather.net and you subscribe and you get that free list, you're going to see 3 different vegetable list. They have different glycemic index. So you'll see onions on the 3rd glycemic index, as squashes are, as sweet potatoes are. We're going to find green beans and asparagus on list 1 because they have less sugar to them. So that might just be a nice little tip. You can also jump over to my YouTube channel. It's totally free, Breaking Stalls and Plateaus. You can see they're free because there's no graphic, there's no header, but there's some good information there just to help answer your question. So hopefully that gives you some tips. I'd love to see what you're having at your house. Drop a picture down below. I always am inspired by what other people are making. I am getting ready to travel for the week, or traveling tomorrow night. So maybe I'll have the boys actually do some posting. They're kind of shy, but they're amazing cooks, which actually warms my heart. Sometimes I show those pictures that they actually love to barbecue. They love to smoke. They kick me out of the kitchen very often. If you've seen them, my kids are 6'4", 6'6", 6 foot. They 5'11", maybe 5'10". They often kick me out. You can see it's not a very big island back there, but they do love to kick me out. And they hide spatulas and spices and tell me that they've got this, Mom. I asked my son, I'm like, can I cook that steak for you tonight? He goes, nah, I'm gonna get it tomorrow, Mom. Leave it as it is. So, Crystal, yes, autoimmune diseases. Very, very important. You identify what food your body can and cannot have. So I don't know who walked in the door, but that's my sign that I better get dinner going now. Oh, it's Nick. Okay. So let me get Nick his steak going. He does have a chicken allergy, so I've got his steak ready to go. So he'll have that with the salad and the green beans, because he loves green beans with bacon and butter. Everything's better with butter. He loves his steak with butter too. So I will let you guys go. Or actually likes his steak with an egg on top. So Nick, will it be a steak with butter or a steak with an egg?
Butter.
Oh, it's steak with butter tonight. So we'll be seeing you guys later. Have a great evening.